Hi everyone, this is Miss Scott, and I just want to say better days are coming. No matter what it looks like, but I still believe that better days are coming. I also come to share a few regrouping strategies that I teach to my second graders. So when you see this, some of it may look strange to you, but the process of teaching regrouping takes a lot for children, and so they really have to understand the conceptual part of it. So, with that being said, when we're regrouping, we're teaching children how to group numbers and then take that number or put that number in the right place it needs to be, or in other words, let's talk about place values. When we're regrouping two-digit numbers, we have tens and ones. So when we have so many ones, we need to regroup those. We need to group those as tens and then take it to the place it belongs in a ten place and then solve the problem. So here we go.
First strategy, regrouping. As you can see, I got this problem set up like the traditional algorithm, but I won't solve it this way. I tell my students when you see a problem set up like this, you want to go ahead and use a divisor to identify your tens and your ones place. So I'm going to go ahead and put my divisor here. Excuse the messiness. And I'm going to label my tens place and my ones place, so that they can identify what place those numbers are in. And once I go from there, I'm going to go ahead and do strips and singles. Singles represents ones and strips represents 10. So I like to kind of set the ones up like a 10 frame because students are familiar with that format. And I will do that both the top and the bottom. And I will go ahead and do my tens. And my problem will look like that. So now I tell my students, let's look in the ones place and see if we have enough ones to make a 10. And then once we have 10, if we do have enough, we're going to circle those 10 or group that 10. So as I can see easily, 5 at the top, 4 at the bottom is 9. I know that I need one more to make 10. So I will kind of circle or group that 10. And then I would ask the students, well, now I have a 10 in the ones place. What can I do with that 10? And some response may be, I can move that 10 to the tens place. So I tell them, okay, well, move it. So you move it using your line and your arrow to let you know I regrouped, or I brought a 10 from the ones place and brought it to its rightful place, a 10 place. So now I'm just going to finish solving the problem from there. I look in the ones place and see how many ones is left there. And I know I got 4 and 2 more is 6. And I write my 6. Then I go to my 10 place and I count how many strips I got. And I know that I have 5 at the top, 3 at the bottom, plus the one that I brought from the ones place, which makes me have 9. And my answer is 96. This is just a good way to have children to have a visual of what they're doing, looking at the conceptual part of it to make sure that those numbers represent what they have. And that is the first strategy, and we call that strategy regrouping. Second strategy, same problem, just going to solve it a different way. You always want to let your students know, hey, do what's familiar with you. So it may be like finding the friendly tens, pulling out tens and ones, and just kind of looking at this problem. So I'm going to use tens and ones to solve this problem. So when I look at this number, I know that I have 5 tens, which is 50. So I'm going to put like 50 here. Then I'm going to look at the 37, and I'm going to pull the 30 out, which gives me 50 plus 30 equals 80. And then I'm going to go to the ones, and I'm going to say 9 plus 7 equals 16. So once I get here, I want to make sure the students understand where those numbers come from. So I may ask them something like, well, where did you get that 50 from? Or where did that 30 come from? And they should be able to tell me, well, I got the 50 from the 59, and I got the 30 from the 37. So I pull those 10s out. And then you may want to ask them the same things about the 9 and the 7. And they should be able to say, I took the 9 ones from the 59 and the 7 ones from the 37. And that's just making sure they understand what those numbers are once they break them apart and how they put them back in the original equation. So we move on from there. And some students may can see that I got 80 plus 16, and that gives me 96. But some students may have to take it to the next level and break that 80 or that 16 down and just say 80 plus 10 equals 90. And then 90 plus 6 more equals 96. So even if they need to take that extra step, that is fine. But this is like just solving the problem using what they've already learned, using those 10s and those 1s, helping them with place value, helping them see those numbers, and to use things that are easy and familiar to them to solve the equation.